that's why I say, I don't want you to look at me like a stranger. I don't want to come across you like just another loser. I know you can't trust nobody, but you have to trust someone. Oh, that's why I want you to see me acting right.
Hand over to a very great friend and fellow patriot, Nigerian patriot, who is going to, moderate today's this event. So I want to introduce him officially to you. He's in the name of Chief Kyrian Agodike. Let's give an applause. Thank you. Kyrian and I go back to way back, early 2010. When we began, our radio programs, and he was a frequent guest and had a lot of wisdom to share. So we are happy to have you back in our midst today. Okay, so Kyrian, Chief Kyrian, thank you so much. All the best. I'll be supporting you as you proceed. As you can see, the setting is different from the usual one because we want a lot of interaction among ourselves. Okay, so please feel free if you want to acknowledge some of the other leaders who are here. Yeah. That'll be good and in order. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for giving me this opportunity to interact with my esprit because I was a policeman in Nigeria, so I'm comfortable working with you as a policeman. So, and I welcome all of you, the President of Igbo Union, you are here, and the representative of the Duduans are all here. We are complete Nigeria here. Because in Nigeria it's made up of some ethnic groups, but there are two major groups here, the Igbo community and the Yoruba community. And we are complete here. We are represented. So, like he said, the Archbishop had already said that today's program we have to change. It will be among everyone. Yeah, it's an interactive session. It's an interactive session. We shall not allow only the panelists to talk. Everybody has right to talk. And I don't know why our people are not here yet, but I know that before we close, the house will be full. Because some of them went to work and they are coming back late. So I will use this opportunity first to call, introduce the panelists. After introducing the panelists, then we recite the national anthem of the two countries, Nigeria and the Netherlands. And after that, then we go into the issue. There will be a clip, about 4 clips we shall put. I think don't on it yet, because out of the clips, when we watch it, then we can see determine the racial discrimination there. If you see racism, if you see discrimination, whichever one you see, then you can be able to discuss it. So, and after each one, after discussion, we put another one. And we discuss again. That is how it is going to be. It is interactive, and you watch and see what is going on. So without wasting time, I will call Mr. Gregory, representing the police of the Netherlands. Put hands together for him, please. He's a great man. Yes. Yes. Take a seat. And then while he's taking his seat, I call Miss Kim from the Gemeente, the city council of Santos. Yes. Then they will not be there alone. We have to put our people. And then I'm calling on Chief Stanley Ago, the President Igbo Union Netherlands. Yes. There's another one, Chief Ike Azatolam is coming. Yes. We're supposed to have the other people here. I'm not going to recognize everybody because we are all special people. And anybody who is able to come here, I thank you so much for coming because it is not easy. Especially when they hear police, some people will not like to come. But we are not here to arrest anybody. We are not here to attack anybody. It's free. You speak your mind. Speak your mind. Don't hide your feeling. Whatever you feel is important and good. It is good you say it here. Especially, I thank the police and the city council for giving us this opportunity. Because previously, we used to go to Gazenhof, Gamma, Police, community dialogue. But today, I'm happy that Nigerians are given the opportunity because it's part of that thing we are going to talk today about race and discrimination. Previously, we thought we are being discriminated against, but maybe it was the approach then. And today, we have the opportunity to thank you very much. Bring our greetings to your boss, the city council, and the police. Say Nigerians are happy to be recognized. Thank you.
me? You, boy!
Are you talking to me?
I hope you're planning on paying for that.
What are you talking about? Of course I am. Now if you'll excuse me.
You're being aggressive. Shopkeeper, this thief is in my personal space.
He's not a thief and he is not aggressive. He's a 40-year-old boy, a child.
He is an aggressive hooligan. Before you know it, you lot will all be involved in organised crime.
I was always taught to be polite, but people like you make me angry.
See? They're always angry and just trying to cause trouble.
Who are you calling they?
I would have expected better from you, especially. Hanging about with these degenerate lowlife.
Every one of you saw it. And then I think I have to ask, how have you, when you looked at it, do you see anything? Do you observe anything? What did you see? Racism in that clip, or discrimination? Did it come from, what did you observe? From ethnicity? Is it because of gender, because of religion, because of his black boy? What do you see there? That is being accused, being discriminated against. But I'm not the person to speak. One of you, I want to hear something from you. Every one of you. What do you observe from the clip you saw? Okay, my sister, I want to open the floor.
Good evening, everybody. I think what I observe is the color difference. The color. Yes, the color of the skin. Because if the boy is not black, I cannot say black, brown. Yeah. If it's not brown chocolate, I don't think the woman can insult from a low, low life. You understand? So I think the color discrimination, that is what I'm concerned with.
We all agree. What do you want to add there?
Thank you. I think I see my profile. Profile. Yes, it's already. His profile, she already have a thought in her head, even if it's not reality, but it's a profile in it. It can come from her experiences before, what she has seen. It can come from what she has learned, from what she has read, from what she has heard. Sometimes also the press, play a lot of roles in this thing. So when you see people, 3, 4 black guys, it's a panic situation. So you profile already before the action starts, because she's already judgmental before anything happens.
But is this something we can relate to ourselves, and do we see this kind of scenario playing out?
Yes, I can add to what my brother just said. I use myself as a practical example. Years back, I was living in Centruba, near the Amsterdam. I was coming back late in the night, in the evening. A white lady, the Dutch lady, was in front, and I was at the back walking towards my car. And she was looking at the back and she was running. So while I was coming, she was always running like, I was like, what is this? I have to cross the other side of the road so that she can feel free to go where she was going. So I can relate to what you said.
So give that for the panel. So that,
Yeah, okay, for me, I think I saw, but I also heard. So you see, but you also hear. So what I heard there is people who are just afraid. You see, the woman is afraid for reasons that I think is just in her mind. In the case of our brother, the example she gave, the lady was also afraid, but it was what was in her mind. And so if as human beings we don't strive to change that mindset, the way we think about human beings, then this kind of things, the truth is that it's very difficult to change people as individuals. They hold what they hold. In the case of the children, they are children. But if you do that to me, I don't care. I will not react anyway. So I think that human beings, even sometimes from both sides, sometimes you can hear it from other side. But based on the clip, what I hear is people who are simply afraid of the misunderstanding that they have in their mind.
That is fine, as we say.
Speaking of the fear, I was just wondering, what would you say the woman was afraid of? That's a kid, a teenager or something. He didn't attack or do anything like, to scare her. So what would she be afraid of?
I think.
In summary of saying afraid, you don't use the word afraid. You will say she's insecure of herself. So that's why she wants to stand, In Netherlands, they say stand steady on your schooner. Then she wants to stand, first of all, to attack, so that he can belittle you, and you don't have, the power to attack her back. So that's her action first. You understand?
The first attack wins.
Yeah. Well, I can react to. There are two different feelings that come to mind when I see this video, and hear this video. The first thing, my personal feeling is, well, I think it's something like this. Because of the way she reacts, that's the only difference that I can see clearly between the lady and the girls, is the color. There's a plain difference, and my gut feeling says, well, it has to do something with that. My professional look at it, I see that she is in that case, she's biased. And if it's biased by color or by youngsters who are in a shop and who are taking something, so for me it's not that clear to me what is her motive to do this. Is it because she has seen a lot of young people who are? But the second part is when she said to the girl, yeah, but you should know better to to stay with those low lives. Then I have another opinion. Then I think, well, it has to do something with the difference between, because they're from the same age, but the only difference is that she's a girl and the other one are boys. But I don't think that is my gut feeling says it has to do with race. But if it's she's biased, I think. And in what way, that's something that I need to find out. It's too short for me to pinpoint it. But my gut feeling says it's biased because of ethnicity, because of their backgrounds.
Raise your hand.
Intimidation.
She wants to intimidate.
Ma'am, hold on. We'll come to you.
Yeah, thank you. What I saw there was a woman who is a stereotype. Yes, stereotype. In the sense that her mind is made up about the other color, right? And race. Now, what brought about this? Most of the people we came to meet here are not schooled. They have not actually interacted with other people. They have not traveled out. You understand? And most of them feel that Africans live in the tree, on the tree. Yes, that is the general view and concept about Africans. I saw a 14-year-old boy. He was going to buy a cigarette. I asked him, I said, yes, I know it is legal for you at your age to smoke, but do you realize that it is not good for you to smoke? He started calling me a nigger and blah, 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 and leaving the tree. However, what actually played out here is what the woman had in mind and what they are discussing in their homes. Look, foreigners have not come to take away your jobs. If we leave, your jobs is still there. And the type of job we accept is even that of the lowest part. That we cannot do in the place where we come from. Most Nigerians you see are graduates. Everybody here is school. But tell me, the Netherlands man will meet you and tell you, have not gone to school. And it is true. When they speak Dutch, they make grammatical mistakes. And you pick it up as a foreigner. So most of them are better than in the air. And the truth is, they are afraid of the foreigners. Thank you.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. I wouldn't have said anything, but when you said, let us relate it personally, that is the reason I want to say something. Last year, August, we traveled the Voice magazine as soon as award. We had our event in Kenya, so we traveled to Kenya. So after 1 week, I was coming back to the Netherlands. So when our flight landed, an announcement was made, everybody prepare your passport and your whatever. Everybody prepared. And a Boeing flight full of passengers, and some of them are on transit, some are stopping here. But I was the only person that was picked. Yes. When I got to the immigration police, everybody showing their name, they are going. Then when it comes to my turn, they say, stand here. Yeah. So we went downstairs, crossed the immigration, went to the belt to take. And they were busy asking me, how many bags do you have? Are you the one that checked it in? I said, yes. And I said, then the lady asked me, why only 1 week? I said, I went for an event, and I have to come back. I am not living in Kenya. I flew from here. So, and she said, do you have anything in your bag? I said, like what? I have in my bag my belongings, my personal belongings, my clothes, and my things. So, and I picked my bag. I also picked my hand luggage, and I was cornered. And they said I should open it. And after every, the only thing they told me, Madam, we are sorry. We are doing our job. Then I told the man politely, I said, the only thing you stopped me was this green passport. It is because of this. And whatever your reasons are, I don't know. But I always, we Nigerians always like to fly KLM because it's comfortable for us. But if, like, with over 100 and something passengers, I was the only person you singled out, it is not right. It is not right. So I want to, like, the racism, sometimes I want to believe that it's working, but sometimes the Dutch people, they play likeness, you understand? So you cannot differentiate what they are doing. So yeah. So I want to personalize it that it has happened to me last year, August.
But do you feel that is prevalent here? Does it happen regularly?
No, I don't know, but this one
I can react to it, because I had the same situation as she told me. And it was not long ago, I think about a year or 8. I went to a marriage of a friend of us who was married his wife in Argentina. So I went to Argentina with my brother, also a police officer, and he flew back after 5 days. It was a short wedding party, and we flew back. So we came back from Argentina and we landed on the Dutch soil, and there was also immigration check when you come out of the plane. the 100% check, how they call it. And we were with 12 people. We were the only 2 people with color. My brother and I. From the whole, everybody who was from the marriage was there in the same plane, and everybody could walk past through. And we were stopped. First, my brother. Yeah, why have you been? Where have you been? Why for so sure? Well, the first question people say, okay, why so sure? You said ask the question, no problem. But then, why so sure? Do we have proof of your stay? So my brother was mad, and he said, well, I'm not going to answer your questions. You can let me go, or you can arrest me, or you can let me go. So they let me go. Then I came and said, well, maybe it won't happen to me. The next moment, the same questions to me. So I also reacted very frustrated because I asked him, why did you ask me so many questions? We are with 12 people. This is the whole group where we are. They all went to the same marriage. Well, no, that is true. And apparently they followed us with plainclothes, so we didn't see it. And when we took our luggage, we were stopped by 4 men, and we need to open our luggage completely. And even though they asked us the question, what do you do for the job? We said, well, we work at the police. Oh, do you have proof of that? Yeah, I have. My brother did the same thing. They checked the whole suitcase. Everything to go out. I said, what's the reason that you stopped me? And they didn't want to give the answer. Until we confronted the team leader and said, just tell me, why did you stop us? He said, well, 2 young boys, with the color, who came from the plane from Amsterdam. He just admitted it. So at that moment, I said, well, I'm glad that you admitted that was your profile, the reason why you checked us, but can you understand how it is for us? We are colleagues who are working at the same, and how would it be for somebody else who isn't a police officer, who doesn't know how the government works? So that was my personal...
like my sister. Yeah.
This is also a personal issue. About last month, I think I was in a train. So I was there, and we had 2 black people in that train. So the train people walked in to check. The moment they came in, they just walked straight. So the 2 of us, the 2 black guys, me and the other guy. One was with me and one was the other guy. I was asking your ticket. Then I said to them, you both just walk in and walk straight to me and the other guy. Why? Why didn't you start from the beginning? He said, please, your ticket. I said, I don't have a ticket. Okay, your ID or your passport. Then you want to write me with it, but I want to know why you left where you are supposed to start and come straight to the middle. You know, I don't understand Dutch much. They start speaking Dutch, and I said, okay, I don't have tickets. So they insisted I must give them ID or whatever so that they can write the detail and I have to pay. I said, no, I am not going to. I bought it, I have my ticket. But I want to know the reason why we left other people and came to us. Is it because we are black? They said that we are doing it. I said, yes, obviously you are doing your job. But I want to know why. Then I now brought, I didn't want much scenario or something like that. I showed them my ticket, then I walked away. So the guy came to meet me and said, well, why is people doing like this? I said, they say they are doing their jobs. Yes, they are doing their job, but why the 2 of us? That I don't know. Thank you.
A few years ago, I went with some colleagues to Curacao. We spent a week there on Harbor. When we were coming back, about 30 minutes before we got to Schiphol, one of the colleagues said, there's a 100% check of every flight coming back from Curacao. I said, well, why? I said, that's what they do. And he said, get ready because they're going to check you. I said, why? He said, because you're black. I said, okay. So I was ready to be checked. I walked in there, but incidentally they didn't check me. They didn't ask me anything. I took my luggage and I walked off. I don't know why they didn't. When I was looking at that clip, there are a few things that passed through my mind. Perhaps it is a play of some sort, but I see child abuse. I see an adult abusing children. If you do that to me as a child, and my mother is there, she will tear you apart. I'm telling you, she will tear you apart. But she's not going to be here now when I'm this old. I've met people who are immigrants and they went to another country. They were stopped at the airport. They were embarrassed, harassed, and they felt really cold. He came back and he was feeling very bad. He needed to talk to somebody, so he came to me and related this story to me because I felt very bad for what happened. And he said he told something to the officer. He told, if I see you in my country, I will deal with you. And I think he will. But I don't know. I've not seen him in a couple of years. Maybe he's dead, maybe he's still around. But when people who are privileged to wear a uniform or be in a position of authority, when they abuse another person, the person feels very angry, and sometimes they want the roles to be reversed when they can be on an equal playing field to relate to the person who is trying to abuse them. And sometimes when people are on uniform or they have a weapon, you'd be crazy to confront them. You don't negotiate or confront a man with a weapon who can do something wrong to you. And that's some of the things that pull people who have a high temperamental, that they don't react. Suddenly something comes out of the air, boom, boom, you're gone. And some people come and throw flower at your graveside. And that's it. A few months later, everybody forgets about you. The problem is when you are on the receiving end, when you feel disadvantaged, when you feel you cannot respond adequately, either because your language proficiency is poor and you cannot defend yourself. If you know you're innocent, it's good to be calm, it's good to ask the questions that need to be asked when you're confronted with this type of situation. It means that as a group of people who are immigrants, that we have to have a meeting to train ourselves. How do you respond when you are confronted in such a manner? Believe me, when somebody wants to do something very wrong to you and he prickles you, you begin to respond in a violent manner because you can't hold yourself. You give the person an opportunity to put handcuffs on you. And once they put something on you, put your hands on the machine, it's a different story. Because when they go and say, this black man is violent, a lot of people will say, well, he's violent. We know black people are violent. But they didn't get the guns from Africa, they got the guns from Europe and America. We shouldn't forget those. But the good thing is that those kids are kids. They remain kids, and they responded like kids in a society that is very polarized. That's the kids' response. And adults should know that you do not abuse children, because a child does not have the necessary social fabric skills to be able to respond to you in the way an adult will respond. You walk to the other side of the road because you observe an interplay between two people who have not communicated verbally, but they communicated with their body languages. I know black people in mixed neighborhoods who, when they see an event happening somewhere, a police gathering, a siren, they walk the other place, and they don't go to that place. Because someone can just say, hey, that's in there. Every black man looks alike, even though we know that we look very different from each other. So you avoid places that could be potentially fatal to you as an individual. So besides child abuse, I see a woman who is perhaps afraid, perhaps prejudiced, but whatever it is, when you do this to children, it is wrong. But I've seen situations where they did this to children, the cops came in and arrested the children because a similar colored person had made a complaint. And when people think we're all violent people, they think we are violent, but we don't think we are violent. Sometimes we are pushed to be violent. But you need to learn how to keep your calm and do not betray your emotion in such provocative circumstances. But there's a lot more on that clip, but this is my own personal experience.
Thank you, my God. This thing about race, we all struggle with it, one point or the other. And if you look at the whole society, it plays out in different ways. Now, I want to direct, let's say, response from our Dutch colleagues who are here, Renia or Ms. Balis. Can you tell us what goes through your mind if you look at that clip and the way the woman responded to the children, to the boy? Can you tell us really what happens as a Dutch person, native Dutch person? What really happens when you meet somebody of a different race or color? Can you tell us why such a scene will play out? Do you get my point? Yeah, so please let's start from the heart. We want to know, sometimes we are baffled by this situation because humanity is one, and so if you see somebody of a different color or race, it's no less of a human than you. Okay, so why would you play up and say, oh, I'm scared, it's going to his teeth, you act up and that sort of a thing. Why does that happen? I would really want to know. Can you tell us something?
I'm the only white guy here.
What did you say?
I'm the only white guy here.
Sorry, I have to put you on the spot.
When I see it, it's for me also very difficult because I think it's about color, and you don't judge about color. Isn't right. So for me, it's very sad. This person act like this. That's what I mean.
But you were raised as a Dutch person, okay? As a child.
Yes.
What did they tell you about the other race? And we probably told other, Dutch kids,
Especially in the school.
Yeah, and made them look differently at the other races. Can you tell us honestly?
When I was young, I was in a white school.
Okay. Yes.
Boys and girls. But later I traveled a lot in the world. Before because I was in Marine. And I was married to a South American woman. So my children are mixed. And I have also experience with my son when he goes out and they let him get in the bar because they have color. So that's hurt me a lot. So now I think another thing, and I try to think every person is the same. Yeah. So that's why I live, work in environments, enjoy it.
Yes.
So this is right.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
I think I can add a little bit from my perspective because I went to a high school which was a very white high school, like a lot of, it was quite in the south of Amsterdam, like it's a very
affluent neighborhood.
Yes. Everyone went to hockey, all the parents knew each other, like all knowledge. It was a very specific high school. And I went there, and even though I'm mixed, so my dad is Dutch and my mom, she's black, but even though I went to this school, and I just know for many people had never talked to a mixed person before. And I remember going to their high school, and many people were like, oh, you're actually the first person of color I ever talked to. And then we were 13, 14. And I think I always remember it in, if you ask about like how do Dutch people, how do people talk about people of another race, I just think the biggest problem and the bottom line is that they don't, because they're just in their own bubble and they have their own way of thinking. And I think as long as you don't get to meet people of another race or another background or another culture or another religion, you will never really have, it's just a far from your bed show, and you need to know people and very different people in order to be able to love them also. And otherwise everything that is strange and is far from your bed show is just automatically dangerous for some, I think. But that's how I think it.
I can also add to that, because what I see with, for instance, with my new colleagues, who come from this side is one of them also, and colleagues not new, but for a long time here, but you see that a lot of people, the way how they're raised, it makes them open or closed. That's for me the same. So you have black-white racism, white-black racism, you have black-on-black racism. So you see that every culture has, there is racism. And it doesn't matter if it's white or black, black or white, but also black on black. So it's important to teach your children, because my daughter is, she's one of the less colored people on her school. Her school is completely white. But she's being taken in as she's just one of the other children. And the children in the class don't even look at her color, because they talk about there are different people and everybody's okay, everybody's welcome here. So, and those, the feeling of inclusion, that is something which is very important. So, what is the baseline during the education, how you teach your children about other people? And I think that's the part, because I know, I'm also mixed, but when I see at the white side of my family, they're all raised with everybody's okay, everybody's welcome, and everybody's a human being. So, learn the person. Learn to know the person before, and afterwards have a judgment. But we are all biased. Everybody here is biased. Because I know that maybe somebody told when they saw Remy or Minister said, oh, that's a police or white police officer. That's also something what happens here in the Southeast, for instance, that my colleagues who are working, who are just open-minded, but because they are white, when they stop a car, the first thing is, it's because of racism. Because sometimes, and I'm going to make a joke, but it's real time, when I stop a car, it's 95% that somebody is black here in the Southeast. No, but it's true. So we look at the car, we see some behavior, and we stop the car. And when somebody says to me, even to me, they say, well, you're a racist. I said, no, you passed the red light. That's the reason why I stopped you. And sometimes there's no conversation possible, and then it's my job to ask, so what's the reason that you think that's racism? Why do you think that I'm a racist? Can you explain to me what kind of feeling makes you say that? And then you come to the conversation, and then you see that somebody's experienced something in their past, and it's the way they're raised, or if it's something that they heard, and they react to that. So it's very important with racism that you ask the person, why do you say that? What do you mean? And then the life skills, that is something I think that is that we need to learn our children more life skills. It doesn't matter what kind of color, but I think we need to learn our children life skills, how to react on feelings that are deeply affecting your heart. And what do you do in those cases? Do you go on in a discussion? Are you going to become aggressive? Sometimes, well, we know we are passionate when we talk, and sometimes somebody else thinks, oh, there's a fight going on, but they're just talking about politics or about something else. So that's important. Know each other, and then you can describe what do you see and what do you feel. Is it because of racism or is it something else?
Thank you. Thank you. From our discussion now, we see that color has something to do with racism and discrimination. The profiling, in this thing, there's profiling, there's a color issue, there's a race issue, there's a stereotyping, there is bias. Yeah? Do I get all of them? So we have to watch another video so we can see other things that come out there. Maybe it may be ethnicity, it may be age, it may be all of them, all those things, we see what is going on. So, watch it very.
Do you think that there is a need to talk about racism openly and to address it openly as well?
Yes, I do think, but I think there is another more serious issue, which is about discrimination when it comes to jobs and when it comes to social positions. This is a serious subject, and also I think the UN rapporteur also raised the question of the whistleblower in the Hague Police Department, who said that there are racially motivated sentiments of foreigners among the police squad. I think this is a serious issue, and I think this is a lot more important issue than the burqa ban.
Okay.
Because this concerns many more people, many more immigrants, or sons or daughters of immigrants, because let's not forget we're talking about second and third generation.
Indeed.
And I would say that it is very important that we try to include all these people in our society.
Everyone, I'm going to say a word before they stop this one, because upon our son of what he said and our sister Bijlmermeer, because even we that, let's example, I'm a Nigerian and I'm from Igbo. Within Igbos too, we are also racist to ourselves. Why are people laughing? When we say I'm from Benin, I'm from Yoruba, I'm from Hausa, if we hate ourselves, they will travel all over Nigeria to come here to live. Like everybody have their culture. Example now, like Hausa, we have culture in Hausa, we have culture in Igbo, everybody. So within we also resist ourselves. Now we are in Europe. The Netherlands have their own culture. So sometimes we are bringing our own culture to the Netherlands, which is even not good. If you come to Europe, they say if you're in Europe, behave like Romans. You have to learn their culture to know where you can fit in. Although their own is too much on the other side, but if you look at it into deep, we also hate ourselves. So, like example, if you get a job, let's say you work in the airport or maybe anywhere in this Netherlands, if they give you a job, maybe let's say now you have the qualification as a black man to do that job. They first give it to a white man than that job, more than that black. So it's also racism. So there is one day that my daughter was coming back from the train and she put her leg here. So one policeman just gave her a butter. In all of everybody in the train, to give her only her the butter. And she refused. She said, I will never accept it. They have to go to court. Till at the end, the judge tell her to go because she wants to go and see what she wants to say. So what I would say is that we also, as a human being, are racist to each other. Thank you very much.